In this module, we will be talking about further charts. As in the previous module, we have talked about how we visualize qualitative variables one at a time. But in this module, we will look at more than one variables at a time. To view more than one variable at a time, one way is to draw a multiple bar chart. Multiple bar chart are grouped bars where each bar will represent some category of our variable. Over here, each bar represents a unique category, whereas the length of bars is proportional to the values of the characteristics of concern. Let's take the example where we have two qualitative variables, sex and status, and we already have constructed a cross table using these two variables. We will further be using this table to construct a multiple bar chart out of it. Since we already know that 0 is having disease and 1 is having disease. Over here, when we are constructing a multiple bar chart, we have a variable on the row side that could be status, or it can also be sex. That over here I'm using gender, but it's the same data. Whereas in the legend, we have a sex variable where we have male and female. Multiple bar chart is a good way to view one variable across the different levels of another variable. It also gives us a good comparison between two qualitative variables. Right now in here, we can notice that each bar represents a unique category. Like in no disease group, blue bar represents males who do not have any disease. And these are 3 males. In no disease category, a red bar represents female, and there is only 1 female who do not have a disease. So this is for males and this is for females. And similarly, in the disease category, blue bar represents male and red bar represents female. And if we look at our data as well as these bars, we can say that number of males and number of females is the same in the disease group. Moreover, we can also interpret them across these categories where we can see that number of males who have the disease and who do not have the disease is same, whereas the number of female having a disease is higher than number of females do not have a disease. So multiple bar chart can be interpreted within a category on x-axis and across the categories on the variable on x-axis. Moreover, we can also, these are the vertical multiple bar chart. We can also construct horizontal multiple bar charts as well, as similar to the case of those simple bar charts. Let's take another example of multiple bar chart where we are observing the distribution of age groups across categories of our response variable. This was one of the study I've conducted previously where we have a response variable that was represented by cases and controls. And we recorded the age. As we already know that we can always convert a quantitative variable into a qualitative variable, and age is a quantitative variable. Right here, we have made certain categories out of it to convert this quantitative variable into a qualitative variable. That is represented on x-axis. Whereas on the y-axis, it is the counts. Counts is another way to represent the frequency. We can see from here that there are almost 50 respondents who are among the controls in the age group 11 to 20. And similarly, we can see the maximum number of controls are from the age group 21 to 40, and minimum number of individuals from the control group goes to 11 and 20 age group. Whereas for the cases, it's the same way that in 11 to 20 age group, the cases are the minimum, and second minimum is it goes to 60 and 83 age group. Whereas in the age groups 21 to 40 and 41 to 60, number of cases is equal. Moreover, we can see these few bars up there. These bars are called error bars. Error bars can be drawn using multiple different methodologies. Right here, we have used 95% confidence interval, which we will be discussing later on. But we have drawn these error bars using 95% confidence intervals. A component bar chart is another type of a bar chart that we can use if we want to view more than two or more than two variables, where each bar is further subdivided into subcategories across the given category. In component bar chart, each bar is subdivided into multiple components. Moreover, components are proportional in size to the component part of that total being displayed by each bar. And lastly, these charts are used to represent the accumulation of the various components of the data. We are using the same data to represent this component bar chart. The way we draw this component bar chart is that we firstly take one variable, we decide one variable to go on to the axis, and the other variable is drawn within those categories of the variable that's represented on x-axis. The first bar is of no disease. If we look at our data, 0 represents having no disease. There are in total 4 respondents. So we draw our first bar up till 4, and we further divide it according to its category. And if we view, there are three males. Male are represented by blue color. 3 males who are in the no disease category. So we make a cut right here at 3, and the remaining portion will automatically be the rest of the respondents in our data. This is how it works in the case of only 2 categories. But if there are more than 2 categories, it works accordingly that we start stacking up the categories within this whole bar. The height of the bar represents the marginal totals. Like in the disease category, we have the marginal total for the status disease is 6. So the height of the bar is 6, and it's further divided into 3 and 3. So here goes the bar. So these bars are called component bar chart. Component bar chart can further be explained in a different way when we can bring in the percentages. Over here, if we go to the previous charts, we can see that we can make comparison between all the categories, that in no disease group, we have 4 individuals. In disease group, we have 6 individuals, whereas male in both the groups are equal. Females are more in disease group as compared to no disease group. We can further go to this subdivided bar chart. Subdivided bar chart is another name to represent component bar chart, where on y-axis, we bring in the percentages, where each bar goes to 100% of the data. So over here, we can see that the majority of the respondents in no disease group are female, whereas the percentage of female is lesser in no disease group. On the other side, in the second bar in the disease group, we can see male and female both are 50% of its data. This is another way to view at more than one qualitative variables in our data. Component bar chart are also known as subdivided bar chart or rectangular charts. Simple bar chart, pie charts, multiple bar charts, and component or subdivided bar charts are most commonly used to visualize qualitative variables. Thank you.